Okay guys, I have an issue. My battery dies like every 2 days. Checking on a parasitic draw. Basically I got a tester here. Tests how many amps the system pulls. Right now, of course, my hood lights are on. But basically what you do, you actually hook up one side of the connector to your negative cable, the other side to your actual battery post. And when you actually start going through to figure out what your problem is, basically, if the hood was down, it shouldn't actually really be pulling anything, but you would actually come over to your fuse panel. You pull out each fuse until you look at that amp gauge go to a 0.5 or below. 500 millivolts is acceptable on the way the systems are on these cars and all that. It should not kill your battery within a couple of days and all that. You should be able to go weeks at a time, unless you actually have an amplifier or something that's actually pulling. So what you would do, you would actually pull each fuse out until that gauge dropped. Now what I can do, I can actually pull the one that goes to my lights to the hood, and I'll show you. Let's see, courtesy. I ain't got a small pair of pliers to get up in here, but I think this pair grab my fuse. Should have brought my needle nose to the house. But now, with the courtesy, of course, you see my hood lights are out. Door shut. And you see, we're at 0.0. Now, it's a possibility, because these lights work on mercury switches. Whenever the hood's down, mercury, just like in your house for your old heater temperature switches, basically it's just a fluid that moves around. There's a possibility that they're not actually staying off, and they're drawing enough voltage off the system. So what we can do to make sure, we could either we can leave the fuse out, which we see is not pulling no voltage, or we can put it in and unplug the hood lights, because I know the inside courtesy lights are not staying on. We could do that and check the system, make sure the car cranks up after about a week with no issues. But I think what we'll do is, for now, we'll just do it with the actual courtesy light fuse out of it, because I don't use them anyways, and I'm not popping the hood at night to check anything. So that's what we'll do. But right now we're sitting on 0, and I'll show you how this will pop back on when the fuse is in there. All right, let's see. You see, we're at 0, and when you start drawing juice again, let me make sure I still hooked up over here on the battery. You see the lights are back on. And we are pulling almost 2 amps. So we're just going to leave that out. We're going to leave this fuse out. For a few days and see. That's what it is. I'll just end up running me some better mercury switches for it, or I'll just run a toggle switch for the hood if I needed to. But like I said, the inside lights are not actually being on, but it's a possibility the hood lights are. So with us at 300 milliamps, should not kill the battery, and that is one way to check a parasitic draw. Now if you would actually pull, if I would have still been at 1.5 and you pulled all the fuses out, that means it's actually a straight up from off of something that actually runs straight off the battery, which could be from your headlight switch because it's powered up at all times. Your brake light switch has power at all times. Any circuit that actually would have power that's not actually controlled by the fuse box would be your problem, and all you have to do is just find out what's on the circuit. Just like if I with these courtesy lamps, when I pull the fuse, all I have to do is to follow the actual fuse box for everything that's on there. It could have been a switch for one of the other lights that's actually not coming on that could be shorted out, but right when I unhook those that drop down to what it is, we should be good. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.